Let's have the tough conversation about mixing seed. Uh, because we as a community are quick to judge people who are gay, um, into bestiality, into uh, any of these trigger words that are unnatural to those who are not into it. The big one is gay. Now, again, I'm not gay. I have no interest in being gay, although I find some men attractive. Not attractive for sex, just good-looking people. There's a golfer, a guy that plays golf, that I just love his style, how smooth it is, and he never seems to get upset. He could bounce the ball off of somebody's head, off a rock, this, that, the other, and he'll have the same look on his face. Maybe he'll throw his arms up or something. But I love that style as an example. But it doesn't make me gay. Some people are gay. Now, some of you aren't going to like that. Now, again, this message is for my kids, my grandkids, and my brothers and sisters in Kenya. We're in Leviticus. We're talking about the children of Israel, the ones who are called priests, the ones who left Egypt on their way to Canaan to change their lives. This particular generation was not born with Jacob, was not born with Joseph. This generation is far removed from the original children of Jacob who moved into Egypt. This particular generation of people are not interested in the Egyptian culture of the pharaohs and living by the laws of the Egyptian culture. All these things were acceptable in other cultures. These rules, these laws, these statutes, these ordinances for the children of Israel are for the tribal culture of priests. This is not for the world. This is for the children of Israel. Now, I think the part that's going to be hard for some of your brains to click into is that the children of Israel are not the only ones in the world. These are ministers, all of them, holding down a standard that everyone is not living. And everyone is not told to live. These people were told to live a particular standard. We are quick to judge people who don't live by our standard. I have chosen to want to live by this standard. Not everyone is called to live according to this standard. Now, what is this standard? Leviticus chapter 19 says, in verse 19 says, "Ye shall keep my statutes, thou shalt not let thy cattle engender with a diverse kind, Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. 3 things. Let's start with the garment of wool and linen. Now, my grandchildren and my brothers and sisters in Kenya may not be aware that they both have healing properties that are opposite each other. And that this is all about walking in the healing properties, all about, as representatives of the King. It's all about us representing him, not living our best life. I hope you guys argue with that so that you can study it. Because today we're told to live our best life. Now, I understand what that means, but some people may take that to the extreme to think that they can live a lascivious life, a crazy life, do whatever you want, whenever you want. It's not what it means. No, when it comes to putting on linen and woolen, linen and wool, which we do all the time, by the way. We'll put a wool coat over a linen shirt, or there's blended linen and wool. I've seen it some years ago. I don't necessarily pay attention anymore. No, but linen has properties, and wool has properties. Let me look them up. And all this is saying is that don't counteract the healing properties of each material on your body. That's all. Again, that's why I call these simple principles, because we overcomplicate things and look at the Old Testament as though it's not to be understood. And it's very understood. Wool has lanolin, and it heals skin rashes. Linen is best for protecting against infections. I just Googled it. And listen, in the previous video, I said everything is not based on Google, but I want to show you how simple it is. Because we think, don't worry about it. I'm going to mix this with that, even though the Bible says don't do it. No, don't do it. And, if we're living our best life, if I was living my best life, there would be times then when I would just put on linen. Not only does it help with infection, it helps not transmuting infections. It's a reason why the priests were wearing linen in the temple. It covers up and kills off anything that's on the body while you're serving God. Not anything, but you understand what I mean. We go too far with thinking, I think sometimes, thinking things are more complicated than they are. They're very, very simple. You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle engender with a diverse kind. In the definition of engender, it also talks about a woman laying down with a bestiality. Because you don't want to produce those types of babies. Anytime sex is involved or crossbreeding is involved, we're concerned about the output from the crossbreeding. It can become dangerous and toxic. Don't do that. And listen, the reason why I threw in the hot topic that everyone's talking about, which is being gay, you're not producing babies. However, for this reading, the crossbreeding is not acceptable for the children of Israel here, for the express purposes of ministry. Then you might say, well, I'm gay and I'm in the ministry. Are you saying that I'm not acceptable? No, what I'm saying is this is the highest and best use. If you choose to be gay and you're in the ministry, then that's your choice. That's between you and God, and you and God will have to have that conversation of whether you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on His behalf. Again, we are not, it's not about us living our best life. Serving God is all about sacrifice and the respect of His principles for the purpose of being able to walk in the healing properties of those that come to us. It's all about being blameless and service. I am certainly not living my quote-unquote best life doing everything that's in my head to do. It takes a certain amount of discipline to do what I do. Not that what I'm doing is any of anybody's interest even. Some, not everybody's interested in the sacrifice that it takes to even make these videos without being a hypocrite. It means you can't do it. Some things that I would like to do. See, because we're creators, we can create whatever we want within the standpoint of how life works. We're not God. But within the creation of, the earth and the universe and that sort of thing, we get to create it. We get to create ships that go to the moon, Mars. We get to explore the universe. We get to wake up whatever time we decide we want to wake up and do whatever we decide we want to do. Right now, I've been for the last 5 months studying finance. I'm really tired of studying it, but I'm dead serious about passing this one exam. And it's costing me a lot to do it. A lot. Anything worth having will cost you something. What's my point? The point is you could be whatever you want to be. But if it cuts against what God is asking you to do, this isn't about you doing what you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do, but to do so will cost you something, one way or the other. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingle on the linen of woolen that come upon thee. Verse 20, and whosoever lie carnally with a woman that a bondmaid betrothed to a husband, and not at all redeemed nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. sleeping with a woman that you hired. Don't do that. Because she's married and you're going to hurt her family. She wasn't free. Now I'm gonna take a step back from this and say it like this: if you married if you have sex with a free woman, you have married her. If you have sex with a free woman, you have married her. If you have sex with a free woman, you have married her. Sex is marrying someone. Sex is the coming together of two parties. Then you become responsible. Yeah. Now, again, did you go down to the county, get your marriage license? Probably not. I don't think they had a county back then. Did you get the priest with the wedding certificate? No. I don't think they did certificates back then. But they did have a thing called a marriage bed. See, we have to take responsibility for all the marriages that we've had. Now, y'all definitely don't want to hear that, but it's true. You know, at a certain point, you have to become responsible. For all the people that you are. You know, in 2023, but this is kind of old school in 2023, so I don't know if they still say this. We used to call them soul ties. You're creating soul ties with people. In other words, you're laying down with people and creating these experiences, maybe even having babies with these people, and thinking that you're not committed. No, once your body mixed with somebody else's body, you have married them. Now, there's a law to letting the unbeliever leave, but it doesn't negate the marriage. It happened. If the unbeliever leaves, the unbeliever leaves. I remember, in fact, dating my last girlfriend, saying to her, I made a commitment to you. She says, I release you of your commitment. And I said, thank you. And I left. Because she was not committed to the relationship. She was committed to a relationship with somebody else. And she was just using me further her relationship with someone else. Now, before you say, that's sad, no, that's the reality that a lot of people are living in these days, and trying to hold on to stuff that doesn't belong to them by marrying someone that is not interested in being married to you. This happens in this generation. So you have to be careful who you mingle with, who you engender. Has long-lasting repercussions, I can tell you that myself. A lot of these mistakes I have made myself. If you're interested in being a help to me, you can go to my GoFundMe page, PaulDozier. I think if you type my name into GoFundMe, you'll find it. Or Cashapp me at $MrPaulDozier, $MrPaulDozier. Or also support me at the PaulDozier, the broadcast with PaulDozier on YouTube. Like the page. I'm on a quest to get 1,000 followers. 1,000 followers. I would really appreciate that. Maybe I should put that on this list too. If these videos are a help to you, please share them with your family and friends. We're on a quest to go from Genesis to Revelation, however long it takes, taking our time going through all of the scriptures, making commentary on the parts that stand out, so that we can get back down to the basics. I believe we've lost sight of the basics, and we really need to get back to the basics. Thank you so much for watching.